How is it going? How's it flowing? How is it proceeding? All right, I think we are ready to go. Proceeding. Ooh, okay, I need to remember to mute that scene. All right, welcome to Code Hangout number 127, where today we are going to prepare some features for SudokuPad Pro, which is going to be a set of features designed for puzzle setters and YouTubers and streamers and other people who are more professionally involved in the puzzle scene, and that I would like to be able to support in some ways. So what I'm going to be working on today is a preparation for a little study I want to do in terms of support links for puzzle setters and, you know, publishers and so on and so forth. And today we're going to look specifically at what we see here, this enjoy this puzzle support clover on Patreon. So I want to kind of just quickly throw in some of these links in a couple of places and see how that would look. And what I did here is I kind of just hand edited this directly into the HTML, and I think it sits over here, and I think this should be the code for that. So I'm just going to try to throw that in there. And we obviously need to kind of cater for the portrait and the landscape views and so on. And I just have a little feature that basically has nothing in it yet for this stuff. And I have the same puzzle open here without my edits. So this should execute here. And we are going to look for if the puzzle is loaded and so on and so forth. And I'm going to remind myself quickly by looking at another feature how we do this. How do we learn if a puzzle is already loaded or not? Which feature is particularly dependent on this? And I feel like this is something I've done relatively recently. Maybe the puzzle pack. The puzzle pack definitely needs to know when a puzzle is loaded. So let's see. Handle start. Puzzle on handle start. Maybe this is what we want to add in here. Oh, nope. So we probably want that. And then handle start. Where's handle start? Here. I guess doesn't need to be anything special. What did I call this? Handlers. All right, fair enough. Always the question if you want to organize by type or by functionality. All right, so if we do this, you know what? We probably also want to handle resize, because that's really when the layout gets determined. Resize. Resize. Handle resize. Handle resize. We probably want to trigger this dot handle resize, this dot resize. So dot resize equal. So we'll have app dot resize. Here. And then what's the next dot trigger? What are all the trigger calls? I don't know. One of these days I really need to document all the events that get triggered. Unpause, start, stop, reset, start, trigger. So we probably want a resized past tense event to let us know when a resize has happened. So maybe something like this dot trigger resized. If I do this, and then here we should be able to say something resized and or resized, and then we can do app dot resized. This dot handle resized, or shall we call it just resize to stay consistent? Let's just call it resize. Let's not try to be funky and clever here. That usually bites me in the butt. Handle resize. So resize happens before puzzle start. Excuse me. Now the problem is the layout. Yeah, the resize code is kind of some of the oldest code in the app, and it definitely needs an overhaul. I'm not doing that today. So I'm going to try to be smart about this. Is our Twitch stream not running? Why does it say offline? It says streaming over here. Maybe I just need to refresh my Twitch stream manager. Oh, no, we're live on Twitch. Okay, we're all good. All good. So, because we probably want to update the links either way, because, you know, different layouts, we need to figure out if we're going to put them on the side or elsewhere or whatnot. So we're just going to manage these links. So support or support links, let's just call it that. And we'll just have a update support links method here. I mean, it's still a function. It's a function and a method. And we'll probably want to run it on handle start and on handle resize. And it just needs to figure out where we're at. Do we need to change anything? Has anything actually changed? Etc. 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 Now resize BG image. So we are listening to that event elsewhere. And we've never actually, this event never existed before. So that's actually something good to know that I probably should be more careful about. Well, we can do that, and this can all be in this update. I think that's all right. All right, so update support links gets called twice here. Do we want to wait for the puzzle to get started? We might have to, because what we need might not be available yet. Let's just have a look if the puzzle date is available yet. And this might not be reliable because of timing issues, depending on load speed, etc. So app, puzzle, source puzzle, current puzzle. Let's just output all of these so I don't have to run a second time when I realize I need the other one too. Let's just see where we're at. This is the first stream with a long sleeved sweater because the temperature has dropped off a cliff. We went from summer within 3 days to winter, basically. All right, so puzzle data seems to be available either way. Now, for this kind of support link, I don't actually know yet what kind of data we'll need. So I'm just going to actually ignore this for now. So for now, all I'm going to care is if the support link has already been placed or not. Actually, right now I'm just gonna put it in there. So where did I say? Where did I say it goes? It goes inside controls info at the end. So we'll grab that. It's a class, I believe. And we'll do insert adjacent HTML before end HTML, and then we'll just do let HTML. And this is going to be obviously working very differently down the line. And I think that's the last version I made. All right. So if I refresh this now, we get 2. So we need to, you know. So we basically need to decide if we want to force a refresh. And I don't know right now how we would determine that. So for now, we're just not going to worry about that. So we'll do this support links added as true. And then we'll do if not, that is not a not. That is, I don't even know why that symbol has its own, well, it doesn't have its own key. It shares the key with, bless you, with two other symbols. All right. There it is. And I think that's the same as here. Yeah. Now, the other thing is I want to place this link on this screen, on this screen, replacing this inner one, but also on the start screen. And to see it on the start screen, can we do something like this? I think I need to enable pause and start here. Yeah. Don't pause and start on. Don't pause and start off. That should be safe now, right? Yes. So that's the other place I want to place it. Now, basically wherever the self counter goes. So I'm also going to look at the self counter code for that for a little bit of guidance. That's still the old API. Ooh, all these need to be updated. All right, handle dialog show. So we probably need to do this as well. And this. Okay. Okay. For now, I'm just gonna sort of hard code it in there, but of course, eventually we're gonna have to do this only under certain circumstances and all that stuff, you know, depending on what, you know, what kind of puzzle we have, what data's in the puzzle and all that sort of stuff. What URL we're on and yada yada yada. All right, get rid of that. Handle dialog solved, handle dialog show. So boom. So we get a handle dialog show, handle start. So now the question is, do I want to pass it all through this one function? And then here I'm going to determine where we are. Maybe for now, that's what I'll do. It'll just make my life a little easier. So we can do that. Update links, support links, update support links. Okay. And then here we can check a couple of things. So instead of actually adding them, we're going to check a few things. So under self counter, we'll handle dialog show. We'll do this. Okay. So we can do that. Then we can output these, right? Like that. And this as well. And I'm guessing that'll show here. False, 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 true, false. Okay. So, and I'm going to change these from warn because it's just so spammy. I generally do that just to get the stack trace when I need it, but right now we don't stack trace. It's enough to know that it happened. So now we can say if as row text or has support links console.log dialog. Is that enough? Is that big enough for me to see that? So false, 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 true, false, dialog, boom. Okay. So if we are in a the thing is, the rules text situation still applies. So we also want to do this. So if we do this, let as control info equals, and then we can do that as well. And maybe we'll just do the switch here and then we'll have a separate function to actually add the stuff. So we'll just do that. So if that's true, we want to, you know, update controls info update support links. Controls info. Okay. So we'll do this. If has controls info. And these shouldn't be mutually exclusive. Since we might, in a situation like this, we want to update the rules in the back and the dialog in the front. And then we'll do update controls info, update support links, dialog. Like that. And now we should see a couple of warns here. So that. Okay. Now, the problem is we probably want to be a little bit careful about this one. All right, so we'll do that. All right, and then we'll do we'll check if support links exist. As links. We'll do el.query selector dot support links. Like that. And it should come back as false. Has support links false. Sorry, has links null. How is this being called and then this only gets called once at the end? Oh, because it's under dialog. This needs to be up here. So, if equals null, we'll basically do this. We'll do yada yada yada, and we don't need that. So that should only happen once, and then has links should turn to true. So has links null. And then has links is this. We'll do that and we get rid of that. And now we should get one instance of add links. All right, good. And then if we change that by doing this, and then if we do this, clear that. And if I rotate it back. Okay, so I think what happens is this link never gets, like, these elements get hidden, but not removed. So I don't necessarily have to add it a second time. But going forward, I might have to, and it should. So if for example, if I say, okay, we don't have enough vertical space, we'll remove it or whatever, it should just not find them, and it should automatically put them back. So from that perspective, this should be okay. All right, so now let's look at the dialog. And we can probably hide this as well now. So if I refresh this now, we should get one add links and none of the other ones. Okay. And then here we can do basically the same thing. And we'll again look at the solve counter. So show counter in dialog. Here we go. Show counter in dialog. And then it just goes to solve counter, counter element, get counter element. Get counter element, dialog. Wait for element. Ooh, this is a useful function. I've forgotten about this one. Counter element. Wait for element dialog. Okay. So first of all, these should all be async. And these should all be awaited. Well, do they need to be awaited? Probably not. But let's do it anyways. In theory, they can run in parallel, I think. And I'm gonna try to transition myself to EL instead of element. I don't know why, but Why not? I generally try to avoid abbreviations, unless they're like super useful or whatnot. Wait for element is not defined. Ah, is that not a utility function? Wait. This wait, how is this different from sleep? I actually would want to make these utility functions because they're so useful. Let's see, sleep. So the difference with sleep is it doesn't just do it. It basically, it can forward a result. The wait is not really required. And we can reuse sleep. So we can do a wait for element. Move resolve selector. Handle resolve, move, add handler. Do I want to add it at the bottom? Or do I want to add it closer to what it actually relates to? I think I'm going to add it here. So we have selector. And if we're using cell here, I'm going to use cell here. Wait for, and we're going to call that selector. Right? And then we'll do sleep interval like that. And then we'll do our EL thing. Or even res here. Potentially. Whoopsies. Okay. T0. Can we just add the timeout? Yes. We'll do that over here. Don't know why. And date now is smaller than that plus timeout. Normally I use T0 as the start time and T1 as the end time. So let's call it T1 just out of consistency. And the while should be like this. Now we have a wait for selector, and we don't even need to update that right now. But we might if we want to. Okay. Let's refresh that. So this should get us a dialog object. Okay, and then after we have it, what do? We basically do the same sort of thing. Now, we should add this above the counter or above the button? Because if we're adding it above the counter, the problem with that is, would be, like we have a racing condition. So if I just add it above the button, just like the counter, we'll have a racing condition where, depending on which one comes first, the order will bounce around. So ideally, we actually know what's in here. And we'll add it after the rules text. Now, the problem is I don't know if the rules text will always exist. So we're gonna have to test. We'll have to test this. But that's details, right? Yeah, we don't need that. We'll just do this. Dialog option, square selector. Actually, we're gonna look for rules text instead. After end, and we'll have HTML, all right, and we'll do let HTML. Now, for now, I'm just gonna use the same HTML as here, but obviously I'm gonna have to reformat that. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, it doesn't work. His dialog element is not defined. Wait for selector dot dialog. Dialog L. Yeah. What I get for renaming things. There we go. Enjoyed this puzzle. Support Clover on Patreon. Okay, so that works in this case. Might not work for the next puzzle. Let's see what it looks like for the final dialogue. Dialogue. Insert. Okay, so yeah. So here we don't have a rules text thing. So we'll do let rules text EL, right? And then we'll do log has rules text. And this is just if this is not equal to null. Now in this case, we're dealing with the support links. What I am curious about is this support link, if it's hidden here, so under support SudokuPad, hide support links, and then we'll do for. Does the object get removed or just hidden? No, it gets hidden. Okay, so we should be able to do this. And support links EL. Now, we obviously need to check what kind of support links they are, so we don't replace them if they're already correct. But then otherwise, we'll do the same thing that we did on the other, in the other function. Has rules has support links, right? Except we want to look a little deeper. So hide this, boom. Put that has support links, but does it have the right kind of support? How do we check for that? I don't know. I think for now we are probably fine to just erase what's on the inside. So we'll just do this dot inner HTML, inner HTML. So we'll just say if this, do that. So refresh. Enjoy this puzzle, support Clover on Patreon. Okay, and if we're here, we have this situation where it has rule text is true. So we'll do something very similar. If blah, 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 then rules text this and this, right? Something like that. That should work for both cases now. And we might, you know, finagle the look of this. If I can use the same look for all three, that would be great. Enjoy this puzzle does make sense, obviously, on the start dialogue. So, how do we word that? Enjoy this puzzle is not the right thing. At the start, what do we want to call it? We want to call it enjoy this puzzle. So we could just write support Clover on Patreon. I mean, we could make it generic. We could just say enjoy puzzles. So if we say enjoy puzzles, support Clover on Patreon. And we'll probably want to do something like this. Make it strong. Like that. Get support link HTML. And I'm gonna put in a variable just because I foresee us having to do some shenanigans here, getting data out of the puzzle, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just gonna do this for now. It might even be async, so it could just literally wait for the puzzle data that it needs to get loaded. You know what I mean? All right, so enjoy puzzles, support Clover on Patreon. The bolded Clover is a little strange. We'll see. Enjoy puzzles. Support Clover on Patreon. Now the support enjoy puzzles. Do we want to make that line smaller, or do we just not want to mess with it too much? Also, the spacing underneath it is a little chunky. Because it's support links inside support links. I guess we don't want to replace the internals of the support links box. We want to replace the whole box. So first one, we're going to do this. We're going to do this because there's only one or the other happening in this case. And then we'll do this. Support links dot insert after end, and then support links dot remove. Boom. Then here we'll just say console.warn add links dialog rules, and then here add link dialog. Let's do support text dialog support links. All right, let's get rid of these. And we don't need that. Okay, where are we at? So let's get rid of all of this shenanigans. And this. Boom. And then we'll probably get rid of all of these as well. Most of these are just different labels for the same thing, right? And we could just, looking at this, can we just have a single handler here? We don't need that anymore. All right, let's change this out. Let's say handle update support links, like that. And then we'll just use that for all of these. And get rid of these. I think that's simpler. All right. Solve this puzzle, enjoy puzzles, yada yada yada. Solve the puzzle, enjoy puzzles, support Clover on Patreon. This it feels weird, the way the link is formatted. And the bolding I don't like, but I feel the need to mark the name of the setter somehow from the rest of the line. Especially when the setter name might be something odd, you know? All right. And the enjoy puzzles could be smaller, but I already have like such a mix of font sizes. It's a little bit much. Okay. All right, app.resize. Why is... Oh, did I? Okay, we don't want that. Don't want that. Boom. Okay, we probably don't need the blank line here. That just okay. We have that. We have. And we'll you know, remove unused code. Why did it just do this here? Did it do something here? Maybe I pressed the hotkey over on the GitHub desktop app. All right. Can we just, yeah, we can just submit that. That's not a risk. Script add resize event trigger. Don't know why. I think the reason I didn't trigger it there because there was some issue with it. I hope that's not gonna bite me in the ass. I might have to remove that again because now I'm thinking about it. Like, did I have that in the past and then removed it again because there was some problem? I don't know. All right, so we have that, and we have this add wait for selector to utilities.js. Also, this is also a no op basically. Oh, god damn it! I misclick here. All right. The other thing we need to think about is how I'm going to handle the vertical layout. I think I can put it at the top. The problem is if we don't have enough space, it's gonna bite us in the butt. Also, let's get rid of this. I think we only need the callouts when we're actually adding something. Right. So ideally, I'd like to have it at the top. The problem, okay, we have, I was thinking about adding it here. The problem is how to get it to not have the puzzle get squished. Most times there will be enough space, but if there isn't, so we have a couple of options. I could try to mess around with the resizing function and make that space available. But I know that's a big mess. I could ignore it. This exact situation happens very rarely. Or alternatively, I could just say, hey, if there's enough space, put it in. If there isn't, don't. And I'm talking about this vertical space, pointing with my fingers isn't going to work, above the puzzle. And the alternative is to put it into the top bar, where it may or may not conflict with the plain SudokuPad button, which I'm loath to remove because people actually use that one, right? So I'll probably put it underneath and then deal with that. Okay, so then the question becomes, wait, why does it say dialogue so many times? Yeah, let me see. It shouldn't say that 14 times. Did it, while I was resizing, did it like do that over and over and over? No, it shouldn't, right? Yeah. So, so we either have this, or we have that. Update support links dialog. Wait a second. Okay, and we have this other function here. We probably gonna do this. That's probably one of these. Yeah, I was just thinking I could reduce one of these calls by checking, you know, only if this isn't true, and then do it here, and then return. But it'll get messy. All right, so then the other option, this is for the vertical layout. So we're gonna have to look at this a little bit differently. Yeah, so I need to basically distinguish if this is visible or not. And I don't think I can do it this way, because the element still exists. And it even has display block here. But if I click on it, like, oh, can I select that? Where does it live? Where is the controls info? It's here. It's display block. It's not invisible. Puzzle rules, header, controls, opacity 1, height 4, controls info. Yeah, so this whole block is gone somehow. Display non-important. Ah, there it is. Okay. So we basically we have to check if controls info is visible or not. The funny thing is, it's not visible, but it's forced to block, display block. Visibility hidden. Because it's overridden over here, even though it's display block over here. Why is it display block over here? Why is it display block over there? It doesn't make any freaking sense. Is that something we can get rid of? That seems so strange. Controls info. Controls info display none. because of this. Style display. Controls info. Style display none. It sets it to none, but it also sets it to block in a couple of places. I see. That's a little bit. All right, we're gonna have to dig into computed styles here. Computed style. I think it's get computed style. Okay, so we should be able to do get computed style window dot get computed style off el, and let's see what that looks like. What does that look like? It looks like I misspelled it. All right. By the way, if there's anybody listening, I would appreciate you letting me know how the audio is going. Is music too loud, too quiet? How's my microphone coming through? All right. So we get the style. Can we look at display? Display. What does that look like? None. 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 Okay. I think this should be a valid enough check. Let's just do that and then flip it around. And now it's display block and now it's display none. Okay. So display none lets us know if we're in vertical mode. So, if equals none, right? Then console warn portrait. It's not guaranteed to be portrait because I think if a puzzle has no author, no title, and no support link, it might still end up not having a visible display. And I think I'm gonna have to quickly create a test puzzle that does that. So let's look under test and create a new puzzle and save it under test. API puzzles test protest one. No, protest is no. Empty puzzle info. Empty puzzle info. Empty info. All right. And for that, we are going to need a puzzle. So puzzle loader dot parse puzzle data get puzzle ID, and we await that and fetch puzzle and await puzzle loader dot parse puzzle data of the the fetched JSON dot stringify. Boom. Right? Is that? I think that's all we need. Would that work? If I just have that in here, and then I'll go from this SCF to M to test empty info. Okay, that works. Sweet, my new sort of raw JSON access actually works. Cool. Didn't expect that. All right, let's do this. And I'm just gonna manually sort it out. So we got cages. And basically, this is what we want to mess with, right? Okay. All right. Cages, boom. So that should still work, right? Yes, that still works. Okay. So if I remove the title, what happens? We got no title. If I remove the author, what happens? Now, we should always have an author on these puzzles because I'm going to use the author partially to... yeah, that's what I was worried about. So in this case, the display is none. But I would still want the link to be up here. So that kind of sucks. But I think I'm going to ignore that because I don't think support links will ever be available for puzzles that have no author information. So I don't think we need to worry about that. So I think we can just look at this one now and look at that space up there. So let us disable the dialogue on... So don't pause on start, because then we can see more clearly what's happening down here, right? So we have presumably portrait now. So display, it should be none, which it claims to be. If style display equals none, what? Is that not true? It looks like it should be. It looks like it should be. Portrait. Oh, now it says it. Portrait. I don't remember seeing that before. All right. So if we're in portrait mode, we'll do that. Else, we'll do that. So add links portrait, and then here add links landscape. Right now, the landscape links shouldn't go away. Add links portrait. Add links portrait. The problem with the portrait links is that they might have to go away. All right, let's figure out where they gotta go. So they gotta go right up the top. Basically, top bar and yeah. So basically underneath top bar or above game, or inside game. Maybe inside game. All right, let's see. Let EL game EL equals. We'll grab that. Put that there. And do we get that element? Yes. And then we'll do dot insert adjacent HTML after begin, and I'm just gonna put that in here and in here. Boom. Insert adjacent HTML. Man, this capitalization of HTML is a little inconsistent. And it goes there twice. Okay, so we do need to check if they exist. The problem is this will potentially always be true. So if I put that here and ask that, does that change from the first to the second application? No. Because the problem is, once it gets added somewhere else, that query selector will still find it. Except if I do something like this. If I do document query selector, document query selector support links. If I do .game .support links, and if I do .game arrow, I think that's what I want. So if I do arrow .support links like that, display block false code error. Display none. All right, now we flip it. Query selector on element is not a valid selector. Query selector. All right, CSS query selector immediate child. Immediate children. Yeah, that doesn't work. If you want to blah, 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 not a full answer, you should keep an eye on the select API, which is already available in most browsers. Maybe quotes, colon scope. Colon scope. I feel like I've come across this in the past and hadn't had a problem with it. I mean, if this error's out, it's not a big deal. Hey, Merrick! You don't hear any music. Is that maybe because the music is too quiet? If I do this, how's that? How's that for the music? Let me listen in myself for a sec. How's that for the music? Oh, I definitely hear the music. Let me listen in myself for a sec. All right, it's definitely too loud. How's that for the music? Oh, I definitely hear the music. Let me listen in myself. All right, I'm guessing it's just quiet enough that you don't hear it on your end. And, you know, it's meant to be quiet in the background. People have complained in the past that it's too loud. It could also be that my mic volume is too high. It's like it's supposed to be... The gain should be... Ooh, the gain should be down here. Hello, hello? Maybe that works better. All right, let's hope it works better. Okay, so this tells us if the support links already exist. So, in this case, we'll do a check, right? So we'll do if it's not equal, equals, no. We'll do this thing. Did I press the right buttons? Hope so. And then we'll do add links portrait here and not here. And for now, I'm going to hide that. Get rid of these. These cannot be consts. Now that's going to be a let because in the future I'm going to have to manipulate that a little. And it goes down here. Okay. So why does it go down there? Why does that go down there? What is margin 00, text line center, padding? What is the game? So it's flex direction column. I probably want to position this somehow. Position absolute. Top 0. And if I do position relative, does that mess with anything else? It does mess with something else. It messes with everything. All right. What if we do top 40? Which is the height of the bar. So in this case, we'll have a sort of variant 2, I imagine. And we'll probably want to manage this via style sheet. So over here we can do the whole where is it? This. So we can do dot game support links position absolute top 40 px, and the first part, which we're going to actually put in a nested div class equals prefix slash diff like that. If I refresh this now, probably need to do that, so otherwise this trash is probably broken. Something is still broken. What did I break? Unexpected identify game yell. Console dot what? Const. How did that console get in there? Okay. And here we can do dot prefix display none. Let's see how that goes. All right. And it eventually does that. How do we... I wonder if I can use flex in some way. Flex, column, align, top. Aligning items in the side. Align items, align only first item. Align one flex on top, continue others, not justify content center. Wrap the other divs. Nope. 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 Item text align center. Flex align to top. You're right, shift that with your code. You just forgot to align the text. If I understood correctly, what I wanted. No. Nope. 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 Need to know about aligning. Flex align centrally if one item top and bottom if two items. How do I align one item right with flexbox? You should be able to use align self on the individual to override the align item status in the container. Okay, so in other words, okay, let's first of all get rid of this for now, and we'll get rid of that. Oh no, that's how it should be. And yeah, okay. We're still good. We're still good. So now if we'll do align self top. Nope. What are the options? Flex start. No. Flex start. Nope. Initial. Self start. No. Align. Okay, so let's look at the container then. The container is flex, so aligning center. Okay, so flex column align self justify top. I don't know. Column align self to bottom. Position fixed bottom 0. No. Bottom top middle. Problem is I want it to automatically shrink if it doesn't have enough space. All right. If we can't do this like that, we're gonna do it like this. I could almost ignore, I'm almost tempted to ignore this situation. We could give the puzzle. No, let's just check where the freaking puzzle is. All right, how are we gonna do that? We're going to look at Ah, I wish I could do this CSS. Can we do something like CSS hide if not enough space? Can we do that somehow? Yeah. I'm almost... Okay, let's just look into it. We want to look at the dot board, the hash board. So, okay, so document dot query selector hash board. Hash board, boom, dot get computed style. Get computed style. Dot get computed style. It's not a function. Get computed style. Oh, computed style. Did I not just use computed style somewhere else? Get window. Okay. All right. Get computed style. It's so weird. Why did they put that on the window API? It doesn't make sense, if you ask me. 342 pixels. The problem is we have the transform, the scale, yada yada yada. Can we not? Bounding box. We can do the bounding box, right? Get bounding client rect dot top 63. And if it's like this, okay. And if it's dot support port links dot bottom 77. Okay, so the question is, does this, once it's added, does it remove it when it changes? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It does not. We might actually need to change that then. Okay, first of all, let me write these down here. So we have that one and that one. And then here we actually need to we'll have to just clear it out, don't we? If let's do we wanna play this game? Let links EL equal, and then if it's not equal to null dot remove. Simple as that. So now I can go this way, and then I could go this way, and it breaks. Game EL is not defined. All right, now we can just do that. Yeah, I think this doesn't save us anything here, caching the game EL here. So I think we're just going to do this. Calculate that. We'll do document here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And then we'll do query selector game here. Like that. And down here, we'll do that as well. If yada yada, Right. So it doesn't get added then. Add links. Portrait, add links, landscape. Okay. Portrait, landscape. Add links, landscape. Landscape. Orange group. Oh. So this has got to be independent. All right. We're gonna have to nest this a little bit, kind of like that. This always has to happen, and this only happens conditionally, like that. There we go. So we'll start here. Now we have no link with landscape, portrait, landscape, portrait, landscape, portrait. We don't have to do it with the portrait one. But we might have to do it if the puzzle changes. So we might have to be a little bit careful about... We might be better off just removing it all. Excellent. So the adjustment worked. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know. I might have to just be a bit careful about... I mean, resize doesn't happen that often. And portrait, you know, so I could just remove everything and then re-add them when necessary. All right. Let me just let folks know. All right. So let's see. So we need to check this. And that also makes it more complicated. Do we check it? We're only checking it in the situation. I'm starting to feel like there's a lot of little bits and bobs happening. Because we need to check it even if this thing has already been set up. So we might be better off to just remove everything and then just clear them out. And then just add them back in if needed. The thing is, this one will be added. I keep saying, oh man, it'll happen so often, but it's not that often. The problem is it'll add a little bit of latencies to startups, especially because during startup, it's happening more than once. You know, it'll happen for like when the puzzle loads, when the resize happens. And startup is exactly the time when I don't want to waste more time. Okay, I'm getting decision paralysis. So let us just proceed and then see what we can do. So that's the top, and then this will be the bottom. Let's align them so it'll be easier to look at. Right. And then when these numbers are in a certain ratio to each other, unexpected closing brace, bottom, top, bot, 110, what? Line 110, jeez. What did I screw up? Top, bottom. Where am I screwing up the braces? Somewhere in this function. It must be somewhere in this function, unless I accidentally pressed a key somewhere else. Shoot. Z. When was the last time it ran? Pretty sure it ran here. Nope. Oh, I duplicated that whole thing, huh? Yeah, okay. That'll do it. Okay, here we go. I think it should all be sorted now. So if we go down, if I refresh now, top is this and bottom is that. So if and let's put that into a small function just for my sanity. Has space on board. And that's just going to return the calculation of this number. Earn top is smaller than the bottom. The problem, wait, no, wait a second. The problem is, this only kicks in if the support links are showing. So I can't stop it from adding them, basically. So we kind of need to run that at the very end. We'll just have to say, we can say let squash equals, right? And we'll just say if, and it's not just these, it's specifically these. Because now we need to do this anyways. So let us put that up here because it looks like we're always going to need that. This, on the other hand. Yeah, okay. So info el. Let's name these a little bit to return some sanity. Some sanity. Squash. Now the squash happens if links element so squash is true if we have links, if links element is null, squash is false. We don't want to squash it if it's null. So links element is not equal to null, because if it's null, if links element is null, we don't want to squash. If it's not null, we want to check for the rest. And links element get bound bottom is, and the bottom needs to be smaller than the top of the other thing. This thing. Like this. Boom. Okay. And I feel like there's a shorter way of saying this. Maybe inside inside utilities. Bounds. Can we just do bounds? And it'll do the selector for me as well. So I can, and wait, what does it? Closed it too soon. Too soon. If, that wasn't it. If selector is not a thing, it doesn't do a null check here. Ah, how annoying. It'd be nice if it did a null check. I don't know if I want to add that. All right. Query selector. All right. If, all right, we'll do this because it's shorter. And then we'll do this. Bounce, yada, yada, yada. That should give us the squash number, right? Let's see if that worked. It's gonna be tricky to test it in all circumstances. Unexpected token. Yeah, broke these. Oop. Don't know what else I broke. 51. 51. What? Yeah, okay, I changed my mind on this function halfway through writing it. I'm very undecided today. All right. Squash false, squash true. Why squash true? Why squash true? Why squash true? All right, squash true or false. Links yada yada. True or false. Bottom. Top and bottom smaller than top. Why does it change from one to the other? True, true. Top, bottom. Top is smaller than bottom. No, top is bigger than bottom. I got these in the wrong order. But wait. If the bottom... No. Ah, yeah. We want the reverse. It's greater. We want to know if it's supposed to be squashed or not. If it's supposed to get squashed or not, right? So, squash, false. Link's element is not equals to null, is true. The top is... no, the bottom is this. The top is this. The top is larger than the bottom. And therefore squash is false. The top is greater than the bottom. My god, I'm reversing the symbol here. If the bottom is greater than the top, we're good. I'm just going to copy this down because I'm confusing myself so hard right now. The heck? Squashing is false. Yes, as it should be. False. Okay. Cannot read properties of null, reading get bound inclined rect. So that's happening where? 75. Bounds links element. Okay, so that's the next time round when links element is already true. Okay, so understood. So squash, false, false. Now if I bring it up, squash, false, 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 squash, true, false, true, false, true, false, true. Now that's because the top of the thing overlaps, and we should just hide it at that point. Okay. And if we flip it, let's flip it. Squash, false, squash, false. Because it doesn't exist. All right. So we'll just do if squash dot remove. Basically, right? And if I flip it, boop, and if I do this, squash true, squash false. Why does squash false happen here? The hell? If linked element is not equal to null, wrong, top slash bottom. Okay, now I'm a little confused. I'll do top, bottom, and then this, whatever that is. And I pressed the wrong button. Why is it complaining about this? Oh, actually, this should be fine. Okay. All right, it's gone now, but then it keeps popping in and out of existence. So at this point, the top is 0. So I think what's happening here is... No, wait, why is the board... The board top... No. Top, bottom. So it's 0 because it's just been added and the style hasn't been updated yet. All right, and then otherwise, why is this always 0? It's always 0. What? I'm sure it's a timing issue. So if I do this bottom like that, right? And then I'll do await, sleep, nope. Wait, sleep, 5 milliseconds. And then I'll do it again. Get bounding climb, what? Top, bottom. So it's 77 milliseconds. What? 77. I can hard code it. Does that affect zoom? $77. So if I just hard code 77 here, and I just say and top is smaller than 78, let's say, right? And now I can do this, and it'll still bounce. Does it error out on this one? Squash true. Seriously? Seriously? Squash false, squash true. If 80, 70, shouldn't that now be squash true? 76, false. How can squash be false? Okay, what if we'll just do this? If balance at top is less than things, blah, 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 and links L. Oh, I'm an idiot, because if it gets added here, then this will be... Okay, so, this is silly. This is silly. This is silly. And we're not even using it here. All right, what if we do this? First of all, we'll do this, and then here, we'll just repeat this. Boom. And now maybe it makes more sense. I refresh that. Does that always work? And if I do this, and then this, if I refresh that, and just do this, if I do this, and then I'll do that, and this, and 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 that. And I'll do 4. I'll get that. Enjoy puzzles. Support Clover on Patreon. And if I do this, enjoy puzzles, support Clover on Patreon. It's maybe a little bit too much, but this is basically kind of the proposal. All right. So, I think this is rock solid right now. Add dialog support links. Add dialog, add links. Portrait, add links. Add link. And we'll just do this. Add link, add link, add link. Board, portrait, landscape. So it should say board portrait dialog support link. Now if I do this, dialog support, dialog rule set. And if I flip this, board landscape, board portrait, and we should be good. And I'll probably hard code it to a singular puzzle for testing. Maybe. I can upload it to alpha as well. So let's refresh this one here. It's not too spammy, right? Oh, it gets quite spammy on the resize. Well, I guess we don't need these. We can just hide them for now. We just need them for testing. Boom. Yeah, we have to... There's a little bit of warping happening here as well. I think we can now bring this back. We can do ports links L dot bottom. I think that should work now. So I should be able to now bring this up. And then it goes pop. Boop, pop. So cute. So tiny. Okay. Alright, I think that's a good start. Let's have a look about... We have a test puzzle with empty info. We don't actually need that. I'm gonna get rid of that. So then the second option is, how are we going to test it? I guess I can put it under every puzzle in the test prefix. I think that makes sense. I can add a couple of puzzles there. What do we have under test? API puzzles test. So we have this one to the emoji 01. To the emoji 01. Okay. I think that's enough. It probably would be good to have a Clover puzzle for testing. So let's grab one from the daily puzzles. Was this a Clover? No. Was this a Clover? I think this was a Clover. Let's grab this one. Can I... Oh, what's the fastest way of grabbing that? You know what? If I do this, I'll do... All right, and then I'll do create short ID. And I'll do this under test, like this. Right? We'll do that. Should work, right? Okay. There we go. So here's our test puzzle. We got yeah, we have a support link. And now we'll limit it to only test puzzles. And I can probably just do this here. It'll, you know, it won't handle multiple puzzle loading and stuff. But for now, it's just a test, right? So we'll just look at document location. Document.location dot path name dot match test like that. Oop, like that. And I think we can even do this test like that. Boom. All right. We can just do if not, return. So on these now, it shouldn't show anymore. Yep. And then on this one, it should show. Cool. And I think that's actually a committable change, even though it's not a super fancy clean one, but But let's not commit it just yet. I feel a bit weird about this one. So if I do an npm run deploy alpha, npm run deploy alpha. I haven't done an alpha deploy in so long. We'll bring that up here. We normalize it to beta because I don't have an alpha link there. And then we go to alpha. And it should be here. Cool. Cool. I might not go super late today anyways, because I don't know why. Oh yeah, because I took my meds too early. Let me have a quick look at the bigger to-do list, because we need to obviously add monitoring to those links. Yeah, so the other big thing is we need to monitor these links in terms of views and click-throughs. Where does the link go right now? I hope it goes to the right link. It goes to my Patreon. Let's not do that. That would be weird. That would be quite weird. Really? That's where I'm sending it right now? Patreon. Puzzle. Is it solver? No, is it puzzle? No, is it Clover? I think it's just Clover, right? I can't believe I did that. Is that right? I got that wrong, didn't I? Sudoku Clover. Is it Sudoku Clover? Yeah. All right. Sorry, Clover. Sudoku Clover. So if I refresh this, not on alpha, if I refresh this here, and then click on that, where does it go? Where does it go? And do we want to go like this, or do we want to open it in a new tab? I think for now we're just going to do that. All right. And is there a way of linking directly to kind of sign up? Patreon link directly to sign up page. Click on the controls button, click. Page controls, yada yada yada. One is already claimed, but yeah, no, that's simplify new. No, I don't want that. Patreon link. How do I get people to sign up? How? I want to join page. No. We want to. Okay, let me go to incognito because I'm already a member, so it might look different for me. So if I click here. Oh, okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, no, that's fine. I think that's good. And I think we'll just do another deploy and that'll be it. And then it should be fine on alpha as well. I think I'm going to leave it at that because the next step is going to take a lot of thought. So basically the next step now will be kind of getting an agreement to what works, figuring out exactly how the puzzles mark where the link will go, create sort of the code for all of the participants in this study. I wish I had a puzzle. I've not made a single puzzle. I need to make a puzzle so I can test on my own puzzle. I'm going to ask Clover to teach me. All right, I think that's it. I think I'm gonna call it end to the stream. It's a bit of a short one today, but we also started a bit earlier, and I didn't have as much gas in the tank. I'll be honest. How long was the stream today? Let me see. Where does it say? Where does it tell me? 1.5 hours. It's all right. It's all right. Just for information, SudokuPad Pro is basically an initiative I'm starting to both support myself and people that provide our content for the community, i.e. the solvers. Not the solvers as much, the setters primarily, but also, you know, the streamers and YouTubers that popularize the important puzzles and so on and so forth. So I want to come up with a way of adding specific support links on specific puzzles, and see if the number of visitors on SudokuPad are significant enough to make a difference. So I want to run a small study for a couple of people, such as the Gas team and some of the bigger YouTubers, over the next probably 2 or 3 months, and just collect some data, just see, hey, if nobody signs up, I'm not going to put the links in front of people if they don't want to see them. But if there is some signups, and I haven't had enough signups on my own Patreon to support this project, but maybe people will prefer to support the actual creators of their favorite puzzles. And if this is something we can promote, and if this is something we can do, and if there's enough support from the solver community, then hopefully this will help those setters to kind of spend more time building great puzzles, and help me to continue working full-time on running the app and maybe build all these big features that I've been wanting to do for so long, but I don't have the mental headspace to do because I'm struggling all the time. So that's kind of the background of what I'm working here. And this is just a small study, but in reality, what the big goal is to have sort of a YouTube for puzzles, where people can create puzzles and publish them, and people can look for puzzles and find good puzzles, and can support their favorite puzzle creators. But I also want to not make the mistakes of these bigger platforms, and I want to support everybody, not just the lucky few that have big names and that got a lucky break with a popular puzzle. But but we'll see how it goes. Big plans, big goals, but it's just lonely old me, so we'll see how far I can reach into these big plans. In the meantime, thank you very much for hanging out. Appreciate it as always. And I hope I see you guys in the next stream, or maybe on a SudokuCon stream, or somewhere on the Discords, or in my emails. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.